Okay.
Hey guys, Kruppstahlschnecke the Hannes here. This video is not sponsored, and for the next few minutes the color grading will be a bit off, so enjoy! Hiya! What like? How you doing? If you are from Scotland, I'm sorry, that must have hurt a lot. But I tried to learn some Scottish phrases so that on the one hand I can use them on my trip to Scotland in a few months, and on the other hand I can understand the Scottish people because I have a pretty hard time with the Scottish accent.
Trying to get going for a pint, I'm fucking only want a pizza. You could have got one for Italy quicker, it's took you to fucking bring it.
I'm German, by the way. As far as I know, there are only two moods in Scotland.
It's shite being Scottish!
Or
It is great being Scottish.
the latter are the Scots that found out that they have some pretty epic clothing brands in their country. And I'm on a mission to find them. Spoiler alert, there's more to it than just kilts and Nerdoir's head, you racist prick. So here are my top 5 brands that proudly produce in Scotland. Number 1 makes one of my top 5 grail clothing items, so you don't want to miss that. Sorry in advance if I butcher any of these names. Number 1, House of Bruar.
House of Bruar.
We're starting off strong, baby. I'm just gonna let these clothing items speak for themselves for a moment. I'm quite a big fan of leather and tweed and anything made of wool, basically. It almost makes you feel like you're wearing a living room, if you know what I'm saying. Now that I think of it, that's something that the UK is pretty good at. Even the cars looked like living rooms once. I had a Rover 45 a few years ago, and that car made you feel like you're driving a couch, even though it's basically just a Honda Civic, but we're not gonna talk about that. Can we please bring back the drivable living rooms? Pretty please, no one wants this shit.
Anyway, look at this British tweed tracker jacket. Sweet baby Jesus, this is beautiful.
Hello, it's me from the future. I'm taking over here. They have this beautiful shopping center in, and I'm sorry in advance, Pitagovan, Blair, Ethel, Pitlochry, hopefully one of them. And it's also colorful and happy looking. It just makes me happy by looking at the photos of it. Just imagine wearing a heavy wool blazer with some thick corduroy pants and a pair of boots. Life could be a dream. Life could be a dream. Or a nightmare for the average person my age. I'm not sure if we go by their shopping center on our way from Edinburgh to Inverness. But if we do, I'll probably have to buy something there. Anything.
Give him to me!
We will go from Edinburgh to Perth first, on our way to Inverness up here. And the House of Bruar is literally by the road we are gonna travel on our way up there, so there's no escape.
Number 2, Johnstons of Elgin.
Johnstons of Elgin.
Normally I have a bit of a hard time finding out whether or not something I'm looking at is actually made in Scotland. But Johnstons of Elgin makes it extra clear on their website. Made in Scotland. Thank you. This is a quiet luxury brand and it reflects on their price tags. This Balmacan lamb's wool coat looks absolutely fantastic, but 2,000 euros is a bit too much for me. If I had that kind of money to buy a woolen coat with it, I would definitely go to a brand like this before I look at high fashion crap from one of the Italian designers that end on an I. I would take the Bracken colorway just because I like brown so much. And this charcoal peacoat looks extremely cool too. Number 3, Kestin from Edinburgh.
Kestin.
If you are waiting for a knitwear brand, here it is. Scotland is internationally known for their knitwear stuff. This jumper is made in Scotland too. It's Barber. And I would even go as far and say that every brand on this list has at least one knitwear item in their lineup. But I like these turtleneck sweaters from Kestin the most. This one is made in Dumfries. Kestin. Kinda sounds like a Lidl cashier in Germany. You know, the one that dyes her spiky hair red and wears one of these glasses? Anyway, Scotland, I'm sorry. This brown mock neck, and I almost said mock toe, looks pretty cool too. I never had a mock neck sweater. Number 4, Finnieston Clothing, Glasgow.
Finnieston clothing.
The 40k away range from Finnieston is trying to bring back clothing production to Scotland with the simple rule that the manufacturer isn't allowed to be further away than 40 kilometers. And that with some pretty unique looking stuff. My favorite is probably the Avery felted cardigan, and it seems to have a pretty reasonable price at 183 euros, considering that it's made in Scotland. Made in Scotland, made in Scotland. Here's a new drinking game. Take a shot every time I say made in Scotland, starting now. Made in Scotland, made in Scotland, made in Scotland, made in Scotland, made in Scotland. At the moment they only have this cardigan and a Hurlford zip vest in their lineup, and the rest is knitwear. Beautiful knitwear, don't get me wrong, but we look for unique stuff, okay? But keep an eye on them. I think they will release some pretty epic stuff in their 40k away range. Honorable mentions, Howlin. Another uniquely colorful knitwear brand. And every time I found something extraordinarily beautiful on their website, it wasn't made in Scotland, sadly. So I had to disqualify them. I just didn't want to bore you with knitwear for the whole video, so it's still a fair and slow fashion brand, so check it out please. I just locked eyes with some stranger on the sidewalk. That was weird. Anyway, number 5, Aero Leather.
Aero Leathers.
And you knew this was coming. I knew that you knew that this was coming. An Aero leather jacket is probably not only on my grail list. They just look so cool and iconic that not many brands can keep up with their swagger. I'm not that set on which one I want to get yet, because they all just look so... I really like the look of this 1930s half belt, or the half belt deluxe, or of course the Highwayman, the one I always wanted. But now there are so many other cool jackets. Oh god, we have a problem. This grizzly jacket, for example, this is something you won't see that often. Dude, go on Google and type in there aeroleatherclothing.com. Any leather jacket you can think of, they have it. And if they don't, they will produce it.
They've steadily built a reputation on the silver screen.
Empire of the Sun, Captain America, more recently The Dig, Bohemian Rhapsody. We've got quite a good reputation within wardrobe circles.
Alright, do you have a Letterman jacket?
Yes.
Shawl collar barnstormer?
Yes.
D1?
Yes.
Perfecto?
Yes.
Type 3 denim jacket made out of leather?
Yes.
Sunburst natural horsehide?
Yes.
Majestic suede jacket?
Yes.
A2?
Yes.
Cafe racer?
Yes.
A waterfront wool jacket?
Yes.
What the f? They even branched out into the wonderful world of corduroy trousers and leather boots. And who would have thought? Knitwear. Sick list, innit? I hope you found something you didn't know existed. I certainly have. And my wallet is shaking in fear now.
Obviously, don't go and do that.
You do whatever you like.
Subscribe to this channel if you found this shit entertaining in any way, and I will stay motivated to keep going. We still haven't reached 1,500 subscribers, even though that was my goal of like 2 weeks ago. Guys, we have to do better now. Oh, and let me know if you have any Scottish clothing brands I didn't mention in this list. I still have some on my backhand, so that I can make a second part, I guess, in the future. If I want to. If you want to. If you want me to. That's it. Goodbye!
Scotland forever!